Congratulations, Prince. And to deliver this year's valedictory address, once again, we have Prince, Christian, and Mikael of the BS Agribusiness Management and Entrepreneurship Magna Cum Laude.
Our esteemed alumnus, the Honorable Reynaldo P. Bantug, university officials led by Chancellor Jose B. Camacho Jr., esteemed faculty, proud parents, and my fellow graduates of the College of Economics and Management, a pleasant and victorious afternoon to you all. May I ask each and every one of the graduating class, how difficult was it for us to get to this point? Maybe for some, it was hard. For others, it was harder. And for a few, it was the hardest. The path to a college degree has not been the same for everyone. But all of us have carried burdens. For me, it is a familiar storyline, one we often hear in speeches like this: dreams, perseverance, grit, and most importantly, poverty. Yes, here we go again. The valedictorian this year is once again that classic tale, mahirap na estudyante nakapagtapos ng kolehiyo. So allow me to share my story. I am the third of 4 children, but the first to earn a college degree. Both of my parents are minimum wage earners. I am the grandson of farmers from Mindanao. I've worked a part-time job selling home decor items online, juggled full academic loads, and lived on tight budgets funded by the generosity of relatives. I am the working student who strictly budgeted limited allowances, buying only my needs, never the wants. But perhaps harder than managing the finances was managing the pressure. My parents and sponsors never said I had to graduate on time. They didn't need to. The eviction warnings, my father losing his job due to illness, the growing pile of debts, and my mother working on her labada side hustle at night after a long day at work all reminded me that I was needed, that I had to make it, that I could not fail. Ever since I was young, I was told that I would be the one to lift our family out of poverty. That responsibility was deeply ingrained in my mind. So I studied. I studied so hard that people joked it was my only hobby. But that was survival. I had no room to fail. Because failure meant letting down everyone who had placed their hopes on me. Some people asked me what my secret was to high scores. The answer, poverty. It was fear. It was knowing that I was my family's last card. Failure was not an option. I didn't have the luxury of many chances. I knew the system wasn't fair. Students like me had to fight harder just to get that degree. But this chance was all my family had. So I held on. Now I'm here, scarred but stronger. This isn't to say my story is the hardest. Many had it worse. I even consider myself lucky. I made it. I finished on time, with flying colors despite challenges. But others had to stop studying to work. Others got sick from overworking. Others disappeared from our classes because life got too heavy. And we call these stories inspiring. But I ask, should they have to be? Have we normalized the suffering of the poor so much that we simply expect them to work 10 times harder just to access what should be a basic right? Is it normal for students to sacrifice their health and sanity juggling multiple jobs and a full academic load? Is it okay that many young people give up their own ambitions so that their siblings can study? Should we just clap when someone delays graduation, not out of choice, but because they had to work to survive? It's 2025, yet many young Filipinos still have to fight for their lives just to get that key to success, as if it's locked away on the moon. Many of us feel powerless. We shrug and say, ganun na talaga ang buhay eh. But let me tell you, that is not true. We must unlearn this idea. Because when I look at all of you, my fellow graduates, I see hope. I see young minds ready to change things. We are the future economists, business developers, employers, managers, agricultural advocates, and nation builders of this country. We have the tools and the power to shape a better system. A system that not only grows the economy, but makes sure that that growth touches the lives of our farmers, our laborers, our marginalized youth, and the rest of our countrymen. As graduates of economics and management, we've been trained to analyze current economic or business performance through various economic indicators: GDP, industry growth, trade, investment, infrastructure, and other appropriate company or industry performance metrics. But let us remember, growth and development should not be measured by numbers alone, but also by the lives improved. After all, what do these metrics mean when millions still go hungry? When farmers still can't afford the food they produce? When families still sell their land just to send one child to college? If our growth doesn't reach the grassroots, then what are we really building? At UP, we were taught not only about profits and productivity, but about people. We learned to weigh our decisions against their social impact. We studied value chains, but we also studied values. We learned that true development must be inclusive and sustainable. The triple bottom line, people, planet, profit, was not just a framework, it was a call to conscience. UP taught us to think critically, to ask why things are the way they are, and to challenge unjust systems. But more than that, UP once taught us who we serve. Some might have forgotten, but we are Escolar ng Bayan. We are not here to serve the elite or the powerful. We are here for the people, for the farmers, the workers, the small entrepreneurs, the children who walk miles just to dream. So today, before we leave the university that shaped us, let us give thanks. To our professors, thank you for shaping not just our minds but also our character, and for guiding us to become not only skilled professionals but better human beings. To our non-teaching staff, janitors and maintenance workers, thank you for keeping this university running with dignity and dedication. To our friends, thank you for the laughter, the late night study sessions, and the shared breakdowns and tears. To our families, our parents, thank you for every sacrifice, for never giving up on us, even when we wanted to give up on ourselves. And most importantly, to God, thank you for your unending grace. Now, to my fellow graduates, this is time to act. Let us shift our focus from numbers to faces. Let's not be content with rising charts if people remain hungry. Let's work for a country where farmers earn enough, where communities thrive, where children can study without choosing between food and tuition. Let us build enterprises that serve, not exploit. So, to the graduates of the College of Economics and Management, let's go out there and be the economists who listen, the managers who care, and the entrepreneurs who build with purpose. Let us carry the lessons, the pain, and the privilege of this education and turn it into action. Eskolar ng bayan para sa bayan. Congratulations, class of 2025. The nation is waiting. Let's get to work.
Thank you, Prince, for sharing your story, and congratulations once again.